Shopsy,
They're both washed.
This is the issue that I have. Is the use of that word washed.
They are washed up. Okay, so change the word for me.
It's massive.
Okay, pick a word.
Too much
Okay,
disrespect for me to stand.
Take away the word
by.
wash and just pick a word that you like that means they have fallen off from the heights that they were and they cannot perform at that level. Pick a word for me. Can I have a word?
You don't need a word.
Why? Okay,
you
please.
don't need a word.
There's a gun to your head now. There's a gun to your head now. Describe with one word what has happened to Ronaldo and Messi.
My dear
in the
viewers,
last 2 years.
do you see a gun to my head right now?
There is. There's a figurative gun.
There is no gun to my head. So I'm not going to pick a word. Today is a beautiful Monday and the weekend served up so much amazing stuff in the world of football. But the first thing I want to talk about is the match that I witnessed yesterday, Sporting Lagos FC against the Nnewi United, the Lions of the Nnewi, they are the International Lions. But it was really interesting. I've seen 2 of their games and the atmosphere is usually, amazing. And I think the only issue with the Nigerian National League for me is communication, right? We're not getting enough content about Nigerian National League.
We're getting the word out there really.
Yes, and we're not really knowing what's going on.
The media that comes with it. But that's even that happens at the highest level of African football. So to get it down will take some time. But yeah, what Sporting Lagos and the team are doing is a great job. The crowds that come out is great to see. The passion in the fans, it looks like this starts with something special.
Definitely looks like the start of something special, and I am definitely a fan. I've been to 2 games, like I said earlier. Yesterday they won 2 goals to 1, and it was very interesting to see.
How are the kits, the jerseys? Are they on sale? Can you pick them up?
Yes, you actually can. You can
pick them up.
Yes, you can. Sure.
That's exciting.
You can get memorabilia, caps, and normal T-shirts and stuff. Yeah, really good stuff. And talking about passion for football, one player that's very passionate about football, Cristiano Ronaldo, scored his 807th goal in his career. That's the highest number of goals scored by any footballer of all time, recognized by FIFA, because I hear there's somebody who scored.
Pele scores. Pele's family and friends.
No, even Pele, his goals, he doesn't have as much
Pele says he really scored 1,000 goals. Like the registry is wrong, but he says he scored 1,000 goals.
The record we have.
And he's taking that to his grave. 1,000.
The record we have is that Ronaldo is the highest goal scorer of
Guinness
all
Book
time.
Of World Records.
807 goals. He scored a hat-trick.
The most prolific goal scorer in history of football. That's one hell of an accomplishment.
That's big.
It's a big stride for him to have. And yeah, it was a great game. As a United fan, I'm sure you love that.
So this is the thing, right? I'm going to admit it here because I admitted it already that Manchester United is no longer a top 5 team, and I stand by that sentiment. Anybody that wants to come should come and ask me anything. I stand by that sentiment. So going into that game against Tottenham, I felt Manchester United were not going to win, and we're this close to dropping 3 points. To dropping 2 points.
You were.
Maguire,
Ronaldo heroics.
Do you get Maguire?
What was I telling you guys about Maguire last week? What was I telling you about Maguire?
The team were already doing okay. You understand? Scored 2 goals to 1.
It is always Maguire.
You went and you equalized for the opponents. What are you doing, bro?
Ronaldo bailed him out.
So I didn't watch the game, but I went back to watch, the game after we had won, after the fact, because I wasn't about to, But yeah, Ronaldo, hat-trick.
Yeah, it was a crazy game, and it was vintage Ronaldo. He scored the long-range effort, showing all the skills on display. The long-range effort that we haven't really seen it like that in some time. So he brought that back, the movement for the tap-in, and then the bullet header where he jumped so high, contorted his body in some weird angle, and bulleted into the back of the net. It was a Ronaldo show. Tom Brady was in the stands, so yeah, put on a show for his fellow great.
Gio80.
I don't know what that Gio is.
We can actually talk about Ronaldo without juxtaposing with Lionel Messi, who played over the weekend. And
no, it wasn't over the weekend. Oh yeah, he did play over the weekend.
Played over the weekend. And fans were booing him. Impact the
Paris Saint-Germain fans Paris Saint-Germain as a whole are not. The project needs to be blown up and it has failed.
So
Nasta is about to be sacked. No, listen, this doesn't stop.
No, wait.
Let me land now.
You don't
want to put
the blame on Messi. You're putting the blame on the PSG project.
Oh no, okay, let me explain what happened to PSG. So PSG, since so they got the influx of cash about 10 years ago when they signed Zlatan. During that time, they've had one goal, which has been to win the Champions League. And they have failed time after time. Before Messi came, they've had some historic collapses. They got knocked out by, there was the knockout that Messi and Neymar inflicted on them.
By Barcelona.
Then they got knocked out again by, I think Liverpool knocked them out 1 year.
And then also the one in the finals that
the final that they got to, and the final that they did get to was the final during the COVID year where they won leg semi-final. So PSG in the Champions League, there's something I learned from that Real Madrid match is that the Champions League is about heritage. If you come into these matches without heritage, as in, if you don't believe you're going to win based on something to fall back on, if you don't have that special atmosphere in your ground, you need, apart from talent, in your league, you can be the most talented side and win the matches because these matches go down with you. But in the Champions League, this is when men come out to be counted. And Karim Benzema and Real Madrid showed them that you can't buy heritage.
So
that's what happened.
That feeds into my narrative that at the end of the day, Messi is not the man. There's no Messi without Barcelona, without that Barcelona setup. Apparently, like it is as clear as day for you to see now.
A 36-year-old Messi is not the same as he was as when he was in his peak in Barcelona. Obviously.
But a 36-year-old Ronaldo was the highest goal scorer in Serie A.
Okay, and a 34-year-old Messi just won highest goal scorer, most assists, player of the year in Copa America.
34.
So the point
why are you not taking it back?
So the point is that these guys are both good, and when the time comes, they can deliver. But their general level has dropped off. This is what I was telling you time ago about them being washed. Messi is washed as well. Like, it was clear that Mbappe is the main player on that team.
Shopsy,
they're both washed.
This is the issue that I have. Is the use of that word washed.
They are washed up. Okay, so change the word for me.
It's massive.
Okay, pick a word.
Too much
Okay,
disrespect
take away the word wash and just pick a word that you like that means they have fallen off from the heights that they were and they cannot perform at that level. Pick a word for me. Can I have a word?
You don't need a word.
Why? Okay,
you
please.
don't need a word.
There's a gun to your head now. There's a gun to your head now. Describe with one word what has happened to Ronaldo and Messi.
My dear viewers, do you see a gun to my head right now?
There is. There's a figurative gun.
There is no gun to my head. So I'm not going to pick a word. But I don't stand by that statement. Even as much as I do not like Messi, as much as I think Ronaldo is better than Messi, I will not say Messi is washed even today because that word is tinted.
As in, don't make me see. You're making me disrespect my goals.
This man has won the highest number of Ballon d'Or.
I love this because now he's defending.
Disrespect.
At the start of this conversation, Tele was supposed to tell you everything Ronaldo is the GOAT. But see how I've maneuvered him. I've maneuvered him to telling you why Messi is the GOAT. Say what he said before, man. Say what he said about Ballon d'Ors again, please.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Ronaldo.
It sweets me.
Ronaldo is the one true GOAT, right? But Messi, of course, has won, a lot of politics went to Messi recently. I was that one. And you know it. But that's a conversation for another. Because if we start that one,
it's today now. I'm not discussing with the GOAT.
We won't finish this episode today. But I think that Messi is, I wouldn't call him washed. He's past his prime. Way past his prime.
That's
even
the same
Ronaldo
thing as washed to me.
But I believe that Ronaldo scored hat-trick. In a team where everything is just topsy-turvy and, everything is just one kind.
I think Ronaldo...
And he's coming up with a hat-trick. And what's Messi doing?
So I saying Ronaldo... Is your point Ronaldo is not washed, or is your point that Messi is more washed than Ronaldo?
Ronaldo is better than Messi. That's my point.
Ronaldo... Okay, I mean...
Ronaldo over Messi. Ronaldo over Messi. Like all day, every day. Ronaldo is like facts, bro.
I think that's cap, obviously. Okay. And I want to give you just a little task. In your spare time, just some little extra reading. I want you to just do some research, because this is a question that everybody gets asked. And find the responses you get from ex-professionals and ex-managers about who is the better player. And these players, no. Let me finish. And these players can either be players that played with Messi or played with Ronaldo. Like when Rooney is on record telling you that Messi is better than Ronaldo. So players that have seen them live.
For me. I don't agree.
I mean, maybe you guys can add this to the end of the tape. Maybe you guys can add this to the tape. I'll show you at the end of the thing. But Shadi is just something I want you to check out in your spare time, except for anything. Every time you see professionals or ex-professionals, you might say it's just their opinion, but I personally feel that they know more about football than me. I personally feel that, about playing football, knowing the ability, the technical ability, and they can judge things because they've seen more than you and I, as in, you can say that's not true, but that's just a lie. They've seen more than you and I. And these people are always in consensus. Around 80% of ex-professionals will tell you Messi is better than Ronaldo. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I think I've said it before, but they're both probably the best two players ever to play the game. And I just think Messi is, in my eyes, the greatest
We're
ever.
Messi guys,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're in good company
So
here.
I just think he's.
I need to see your stats. I need to see.
Why do you think that is?
Let me see where your stats come from. Around 80%. Just giving me numbers.
So yeah, I think Messi is the GOAT for a list of reasons. I think technically I think it's quite clear that technically he's a better player. In the sense that he's a better dribbler, he's a better passer, he's a better finisher than Ronaldo.
Let's put it to the viewers, right? Who do you think is actually the greatest of all time between Ronaldo and Messi? It is a conversation that will happen till the end of time, I believe.
No.
And it's a conversation that will happen where there won't even be a solution. I don't ever think that there will be, like a definitive answer.
I personally think we have a definitive answer because, as the record book show, Lionel Messi has 7 Ballon d'Ors, 2 Ronaldo's 5 Ballon d'Ors. The proof is in the pudding, bro. I don't know the other metric we can possibly use to compare them. 7-5. Get your 6th one, then talk to us.
I feel like moving on from that. And the next thing I want to talk about now is Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Let me give you a quick backdrop, right? So we created a football group called Love Football, and one of the quote and unquote founding members stormed out of the group on WhatsApp. He says, or he believes, as many other Chelsea fans believe, that Chelsea is being targeted by the sanctions and by decisions by the UK government and everything. They believe that Chelsea is being targeted, and I believe that Chelsea fans are deluded for thinking that Chelsea is being targeted, right? Because when you were enjoying the riches and the plunders of this Russian oligarch, you didn't feel like you were being unfairly enriched. But now that he has been sanctioned and the source of money or the source of income has been taken away, you now feel like you're being targeted. Like, please, stop that. This guy left the group and it was just embarrassing.
I'm not
like,
sure who
what
this guy is,
bro?
but I'm not sure who this guy is, but I'm going to play devil's advocate because we can't just both be saying the same thing. This is an echo chamber. So what I'm going to say is that I don't feel Chelsea are being targeted directly because I feel like the UK government has no reason to hate Chelsea. But I feel that Chelsea they're being scapegoated, and I feel like Chelsea is football's way of saying that, hey, we care about the war. The Premier League saying, hey, we care about the war. And at the end of the day, they're not going to. They can punish Abramovich, but that's behind the scenes to actually show and actually do the virtue signaling that, hey, we care about the war. Chelsea, I think Chelsea are being scapegoated and they're being grouped into the Abramovich thing. And I feel like there are ways where the government could have been fairer to Chelsea. For instance, the financial restrictions they put on the club are ridiculous. Like, you can't expect a professional football team with all the people that they travel with to make these international games on a budget of £20,000. You can't expect Chelsea to host games at Stamford Bridge on a budget of £50,000. So I feel like there are ways where we could have punished Abramovich without necessarily harming the livelihood of the players and all the people around the club. It's hard for me to look away from all the lives that are being impacted by these sanctions. And yeah, I think I've said my piece. Let me not say too much about these sanctions before they come for me.
You say as much as you can.
Because we know the way the world...
say as much as you can.
I feel like there's a consensus right now, and the world, the West, this is becoming a political show. Is that, Russia, blah, blah, Putin,
it's not a political show.
Hitler,
This is a direct message to Chelsea fans that are living under the delusion that Chelsea is being targeted. Take it or leave it. You probably want to leave it. But Chelsea is not being targeted, right? They're sanctioning. They didn't sanction Chelsea Football Club. They did not say don't sell Chelsea.
No, but they're saying
Chelsea.
They're saying Chelsea can only spend a certain amount
for now.
And during that time period, they are going to suffer for
during
it.
that time,
and Chelsea are they're losing. So okay, yes, we say they're not punishing Chelsea, they're punishing Abramovich. But at the end of the day, 3 is not on Abramovich's head. It's on Chelsea's jersey. And 3 are saying that they are removing their logo from Chelsea's kit. So people are saying that they are washing their hands from Chelsea, not from Abramovich. So it's basically everything Abramovich has touched, they are washing their hands of, and that's Chelsea as well. So for a Chelsea fan to say, yes, perhaps it's us that's being targeted and not Abramovich, I think he has some grounds to say that. I understand why he will feel.
So one question that I want to ask you: Did 3 sign their deal with Chelsea when Abramovich was owner or not?
I think that's irrelevant because the main thing you've said is they signed their deal.
Or did they not?
Yes, they signed the Abramovich, but the end of the deal that they signed was with, as in 2 things can be correct. Two things can be correct. One, it is correct that Chelsea signed a deal with Abramovich. True. That was the man in charge of Chelsea. But it's also true that the deal was with Chelsea Football Club. So the relationship is 3x Chelsea, not 3x Roman Abramovich.
Did they take away their sponsorship? Did they end their agreement with Chelsea before or after Roman Abramovich was sanctioned?
These are, like I said earlier, two things can be true. This is another thing that is true, but in the same time, the deal is with Chelsea and not.
It's for you to know
three
that
don't sponsor Roman Abramovich.
they sponsor Roman Abramovich's business.
And his business is a separate entity from Roman Abramovich.
That is not true.
It is true.
That is not true.
It is a separate legal entity from.
That is not true.
It's a fact.
Because at the end of the day, in the positioning and the body language of Roman Abramovich and Chelsea,
Body
he has
language?
Yes.
You can't
he
tell
has-
me somebody's body language is what you're going to use to tell me what is in the law. The law is that it's a separate entity from Chelsea.
If not for
Just because he comes to the games and he has power doesn't mean he's the club.
If not for inanimate things like body language and the likes, why do you think Chelsea is suffering for Roman Abramovich's supposed
Because he
action?
owns the club.
That's it.
So, and I feel like, and like I said earlier, Roman Abramovich owns the club, and that is football's way of, like the Premier League can only go so far with Roman Abramovich as an individual. So I feel like their punishments to show that they care is the Roman Abramovich assets that they are coming for. And yes, it is his assets, you can say it's the same as well, but I believe there's a separation between Roman Abramovich and the club. And like with all businesses, like Roman Abramovich should be a silly man if everything Chelsea does was tied to him. Like, then that means if Roman Abramovich and Chelsea are the same, when Mourinho was facing those his discrimination charges against that woman that he blasted with, that means Roman Abramovich, he puts himself in a situation where he can be held accountable for that if he does not separate himself from the football club.
So this is the thing, right? In closing, I want to say that Chelsea fans, that's just my issue. I'm not even.
See, just like you, I'm happy. Chelsea, they should suffer. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I'm not pro Chelsea, as in, and yeah, they enjoyed their oligarch. How many years? I'm a Liverpool fan. I had no bows. Watching Chelsea sign, dominate, signing.
Chelsea that were a club that was actually a losing business venture that was making losses upon losses until Abramovich came and turned their fortunes around. And the funds that he used were funds from his oil business. I don't even want to go into all of that, but that's besides the point. I just want to address the delusion that Chelsea fans are under, that the club is being targeted.
I think if football was going to take this moral high ground,
Chelsea.
I think if football, my own closing point, if football is going to take this moral high ground now, then they need to scrutinize who they allow to own football clubs. Because this situation could easily come up again in 10 years with Newcastle. Very easily. So it's like, let's know who we're dealing with from the jump. And if you allow them inside, then you've allowed them inside. You know where the money came from at the start. It is what it is.
That said, all well and good. I think that Chelsea fans can drop their comment sections, come with the vitriol. I don't care. You need to be told the truth. Chelsea is not being targeted. Abramovich has been sanctioned. I don't wish you guys the best of luck moving forward, but it is what it is. Catch you guys in the next one. We're out.
Thanks for having us. Peace.